Welcome to Pesto Comics Audio Edition. This is a paid post for August 16th, 2025. Deep Dive. Something clever about coffee. The full behind the scenes for Crazy Latte Thing Called Love. Welcome back. A few posts ago, I mentioned that I was going to try and stick to a very specific word count, but there would be exceptions. Both today and on next Wednesday's post, I'll be throwing that restriction right out the window. Today we're doing a deep dive, and I'm not holding back for the sake of a word count. I've really been enjoying these deep dives as they're giving me a chance to really look back at where I was and where I am today. I learn with each campaign, and reflecting on them is a great reminder of what I've picked up from each. You never know how far you've come until you look at how far you've been. That's something I've needed a reminder for lately, as once again I've overfilled my plate with projects, and I'm starting to feel like I'm never going to get on the other side of them. I'm fighting that by just finishing one item at a time, working in stages and seasons, rather than trying to do a little bit of everything at once. Yes, I have to push myself more than I'm comfortable with, but that's where the growth comes from. Maybe a year from now, when we're doing a deep dive on these projects that I'm working on today, I'll feel completely different about it. I don't know if it'll be negative or positive, but I do know that it's healthy to push yourself as long as you're not doing it to the point of burnout. For now, let's take a break from the scary future as we look back at Crazy Latte Thing Called Love. Main story. A breakthrough moment. Everyone with a creative career looks for a definitive moment where they've made it. I don't know that there's actually such a thing. Even though my career still feels like it's pretty nascent, having only been in comics for about 3 years now, depending on who you talk to, I'm slowly becoming a veteran at this. I've launched and funded 9 campaigns, with 4 more planned through the beginning of next year. When I was on a roundtable for the Comics Launch podcast a few weeks ago, I had the most experience of anyone on the roundtable, aside from the host, Tyler James, of course. It's easy to feel like you're always chasing others up the mountain. Sometimes you don't realize there's people starting that climb behind you. I had moderate success with Stay Cool and Unlimited Udo, but it still felt like a grind to get every single backer. I felt very much like I was on the outside looking in. That all changed with Crazy Latte Thing Called Love. This was the first project where I got attention beyond those who were already in my network. Latte became my calling card. Oh, you're the latte guy. It broke new ground for me, but it didn't mean I made it. It just meant I got to the next rung of the ladder. A story for an artist. This was the first project I actually wrote with an artist in mind. A lot of times I have stories that I've already written and try to find an artist that'll fit. With Latte, I worked with Mattia on a cover for Stay Cool, and I enjoyed his art so much that I really wanted to have a story that would fit his style. I knew I'd have to wait a while for Mattia to be available to work on this project. He warned me well ahead of time, but I knew it'd be worth the wait. I was a fan of Mattia's work before I knew I'd be working with him. I loved his style with Chicken Devils. I knew I'd have to twist his arm into a longer project with me. It felt surreal to get him on board. It still does to this day. Every artist has a different way of working, and Mattia really likes to have a hand in the story. You can tell by looking at the pages. A lot of times he would take the little bit of direction I threw in the script and come up with a whole world of extra detail I never anticipated. It's not just his storytelling or his character design, but his color theory. Everything just sings. This isn't the last time I want to work with Mattia either. He's out there doing big things, so I have to find room in his schedule, but it'll be worth it. If you're a paid subscriber, you may have already seen a very small preview of that a few weeks ago. Coming up with a concept. When I originally came up with the idea, I wanted it to be about an anti-hero, one who was obsessed with a girl he knew nothing about. I always think about those songs where a guy sees a girl at a bar or on a bus and dreams about her all day. It's very stalkerish. Somehow those songs seem romantic even though it's creepy. I wanted to get that vibe across without making Liam, the lead in the book, too sympathetic. I didn't want the flaws to just be his, though. I wanted the girl he's following, the dream girl that could do no wrong, to also be an awful person. Knowing that, I had my ending before I had the story that led up to it. There's an idea that the women these men chase could never live up to the imaginary person they dream up in their heads. And yes, that's why Pacey was the right choice. These love interests are human and flawed, and very much so in the case of Ruby. I had to make Liam the hero of the story without making him a hero. He's not so much an anti-hero as he is just a creep. His view of the world is not one that's shared by Ruby or anyone else around him for that matter, which is what led to the dream sequences throughout. It may not be the most artistic thing, but I always try to remember that I'm writing a comic book. Having 2 people just sitting in a coffee shop talking is not the most visually exciting scenario. I'm always thinking about set pieces and scenes the artist will have fun drawing. Fortunately, I had Mattia who ran with those sequences. Though every book is one of my children, this one holds a special place in my heart. If you're a paid subscriber, now we'll dive into the details of the campaign. If not, there's still time to join. I've added another special discount if you click the link on the Substack, but don't click the one from Substack, click the button that I've put there. This will give you access to not just this post, but all previous paid posts, including the other deep dives. I also do an exclusive podcast epilogue for paid subscribers, so don't miss out. If this is where I leave you, I'll talk to you again on Wednesday as we do a postmortem for the campaign for From Parts Unknown number 4. See you then.